Have you ever wondered how the Israel-Palestine conflict, one of the world's most enduring disputes, came into being? The seeds of this conflict were sown in the late 19th and early 20th centuries. During this period, two powerful movements emerged: Zionism and Arab nationalism. Zionism was a Jewish nationalist movement that sought a homeland for the Jewish people in the historic land of Israel. Simultaneously, Arab nationalism blossomed with the aim of achieving independence from colonial rule and forging a unified Arab state. A crucial turning point arrived in 1917 with the Balfour Declaration. Britain, the colonial power over Palestine, expressed support for the establishment of a national home for the Jewish people in Palestine. This promise sparked a significant tension between the Jewish immigrants and the Arab locals, setting the stage for decades of strife to come. As World War II ended, and the horrors of the Holocaust were revealed, international support for a Jewish state grew, culminating in the 1947 UN Partition Plan. The UN's decision to partition Palestine into separate Jewish and Arab states sparked a massive conflict, didn't it? The year was 1948, and the Arab-Israeli War was in full swing. This war, fueled by deep-seated animosity and territorial disputes, resulted in a decisive victory for Israel. However, this victory came with a heavy price. A human tragedy unfolded, known as the Nakba, or catastrophe, as hundreds of thousands of Palestinians were displaced from their homes. Fast forward to 1967 and we see another critical point in this convoluted narrative: the Six-Day War. In a matter of days, Israel seized control of the West Bank, Gaza Strip, and East Jerusalem. These territories, rich in history and cultural significance, became hotbeds of tension. Their occupation sparked a cycle of violence, a dance of power and pain that has ebbed and flowed but never truly ceased. The occupation of these territories led to increased tensions and sparked a cycle of violence that continues to this day. Many have tried to broker peace in this troubled region, haven't they? Over the years, countless efforts have been made to bring some semblance of peace to the Israel-Palestine region. Let's take a brief journey through some of these attempts. In 1978, we saw the Camp David Accords, a significant milestone, where Egyptian President Anwar Sadat and Israeli Prime Minister Menachem Begin sat down with US President Jimmy Carter. This agreement marked the first time an Arab country recognized Israel as a legitimate state. However, it did little to address the Palestinian issue, leaving a crucial piece of the puzzle unsolved. Fast forward to the early 90s and we find ourselves at the Oslo Accords. These agreements were supposed to be the game changer. Israel and the Palestine Liberation Organization for the first time recognized each other's right to exist. It was a moment of optimism, a glimmer of hope. However, these accords fell short of resolving key issues such as Israeli settlements, the status of Jerusalem, and the right of return for Palestinian refugees. As we moved into the new millennium, another attempt was made at the 2000 Camp David Summit. This time, US President Bill Clinton mediated between Israeli Prime Minister Ehud Barak and Palestinian Authority Chairman Yasser Arafat. The talks were comprehensive, and the stakes were high. Yet the summit ended without an agreement, once again leaving the region in a state of unresolved tension. The issue of Israeli settlements remains a significant hurdle. These settlements, considered illegal by international law, continue to expand, reducing the land available for a potential Palestinian state. And then there's Jerusalem, a city sacred to three major religions, and claimed as a capital by both Israelis and Palestinians. The status of this city is perhaps the most sensitive issue in this conflict. So here we are, decades after the first peace effort, and the conflict continues. Each attempt to broker peace seems to be a step forward, followed by two steps back. And as the world watches, the people of this region continue to live in uncertainty and fear. Despite numerous attempts at peace, the conflict persists, with no clear solution in sight. So, what have we learned about the Israel-Palestine conflict? We've delved into the origins of this enduring dispute, tracing its roots back to territorial and religious tensions that have spanned over a century. We've seen how the clash of national aspirations has led to a series of devastating wars, causing mass displacement and reshaping the region's demographic and geographical landscape. We've also looked at the numerous attempts to broker peace, from the Oslo Accords to the Camp David Summit, and yet, the conflict persists. Despite the tireless efforts of diplomats and peacekeepers, a lasting resolution remains elusive. The Israel-Palestine conflict isn't just a political issue, it's a human story of loss, resilience, and the relentless quest for a homeland. It's a complex tapestry woven with threads of history, religion, and identity. As the conflict continues, it remains a complex issue with deep historical roots and profound human consequences.